have joined. So, yeah, the agenda of this particular session to understand how actually the reverse pivot can be implemented and how to make use of a date generation transformation. And if time permits, I will try to introduce an SAP extraction, SAP ECC table and also an SAP variable extraction, and we will see like how the integration will happen in SAP ECC and SAP BO, like BODS. What are the prerequisite steps to take care of? So all those things that we will try to understand in this particular today's session as a startup. And so that is one thing. But first we will start with the reverse pivot transformation. So I'm sharing my screen. So I'm just sharing my screen. So we will see reverse pivot. So do you have any questions from the previous session? The previous session we have discussed regarding pivot transformation. The pivot transformation is mainly useful in order to perform the activity of the conversion of all the column values into rows. That is what we have gone through with the real-time example of business segment, business unit. So sales values, and fees values, and etc. That's what we have discussed in the example, where we have gone through how actually the date format can change the format and how to make use of the existing format and how
Venkat?
It will fall into the functions. So all the things that we have done. I think you have some questions, right? So please get them.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, I agree. You're breaking up there a little bit, your voice now, but
so I'm
two
still breaking them, guys.
You had been with the other fellow.
Yeah, you are breaking up badly.
Yeah, but my question actually was 2 sessions ago. We spent some time on try and catch. And I thought you were going to continue that. Is that part of another lesson, another session? I thought you said we were going to continue with that, or was that all that you were going to present at this time?
Try and catch.
Yeah, you presented a certain amount, but I thought at the end you were talking like we'll explore it some more. You were looking like at all the conditions you could set at the end in the catch object. And then I thought when you were wrapping up, you said, oh, we'll explore this further in another one. Did I misunderstand that, or is there more try and catch to be studied? Thank you.
I think try and catch, I think we have discussed. Not a problem. We'll see one more time. So we'll try to see that. So what we can see in this session, okay?
Yeah, that's okay. Like I said, I thought you said we were going to spend some more, but maybe I misunderstood. So however you have the classes set up, that's okay.
Okay. Mhm. Now, is my voice is clear, guys, or you still have the same problem?
Now it is clear, Venkat.
Okay. So we will discuss the reverse pivot transformation. So the reverse pivot transformation is used to convert the row values of the table or file into column values. So that is what actually we are going to the reverse pivot transformation. Reverse pivot transformation is very, very important from the conversion standpoint. So we are going to use regularly these reverse pivot transformation. So in order to identify or in order to convert the column row values into columns. So we will see rather than spending on like all these PPTs, we will try to jump start with our example and we will try to understand so what's going on with that. So if you take an example of an employee number, here we have something called as the emergency, type of emergency. What is his address, his name and phone number for that employee and number. So what is the home at work? So what is the emergency contact? What is the home contact for him? What is the work contact? Similarly for 200, what is an emergency contact? So all the information we have now, what we would like to understand here is so what is so that is the main aim of this employee number. The employee number I want to have in a single row. I want to have the 200. Of course, it's already in single row. So I want to have all the information in the single row. So that is what the aim of this particular employee information. So how to rearrange the contact information on the particular employee is a very important point to consider. So if you want to convert all the column values, all the like row values, what we have into column. The final output, so what we are expecting, this is what we are expecting actually. So we can have an Andrew and emergency name, phone, something like that. So all the information that I would like to have from this emergency phone, home name, home phone, work name, work phone. So all the information I would like to have. Now we will try to take an example from the same fashion and we will proceed from there. So I have file here. So in order to proceed with so the file here is so this is the file I have. So I have something called as employee number and name and phone number. So everything I have displayed in the PPT. And this is the file I have. And so I already came. So we will also see the mapping sheet So this is the reverse pivot mapping sheet we have. Customer wants to have an employee number as a direct mapping. Employee name, source field. So the employee name is coming from the field called type and name. So each value of type column created new column. So that is what actually happens here. Then each value of type column within the source, and it will create a new column. So this is what actually happens here. So emergency number, emergency phone, emergency name, emergency phone, so home name, home phone, work name, work phone. So all these things that will be part of your target field. So what is responsible the source field, and what is responsible of extraction logic. So all these things that will be taken care here. The target field, source field, and extraction logic will be there in order to proceed further on this. Now we will take up the file. So where we have and all and everything. Now as usual, so I'm going to create a job here. JB underscore rewards reward. Rewards reward. So create the file format as usual. Since we have an Excel file, just try to create an Excel file format. Yes, guys. Apologies for the delay. Yes. So I think you were able to see my screen, and I think my voice is clear. So I think we can proceed further now. I'm just selecting the folder. So where actually we have that particular folder, and I have a file. Where is that file? So reverse pivot employee details, the respective the worksheet. So import schema. So we can have something called as the double if you want, or else you can have the integer, or else the varchar, whatever it is. So you would like to have, you can have it. So let us keep it double. So proceed from there. Or else what we will do, we will try to change it to varchar, not a problem. Employee number. So make it like varchar. So now simply drag and drop the file format and use as usual the query transformation. Drag and drop and load it into the staging. And we'll try to execute and see here. See here. So we cannot able to process that because it is already open by some other user. So we have to go here and we have to close the file. And I'm trying to execute the job once again. So I've loaded the 6 records. So I'm going to place one more data flow here. Df So please take up the same data staging. What is the table we have? Please take that as a source. It will be there in the template table. What is the reverse pivot underscore stage? Drag and drop. Drag and drop the activities. Drag and drop the columns and all everything. And now use reverse pivot transformation. It is under the type of data integrated type of transformation. You drag and drop the reverse pivot, connect, double click on the reverse pivot, and you have to understand what is the reverse pivot, the columns. So what actually were non-pivoted columns. So whatever may be the pivot columns, the non-pivot column would be name. So that's what you have to understand. And from the PPT, so you also need to understand what are the values that needs to have. So I need to have emergency, I need to have home, I need to have work. So for each and every type of this emergency, I need to have a name, I need to have an address, I need to have a phone. So here the type of the pivoted column, the pivot column that I have to change it is here the name and phone number. So let us try to give the same parameters and try to understand how actually and what actually is going on. So now the pivot column would be the name and address as mentioned. So simply drag and drop. And the pivot access column, so it depends upon the type, we need to change all the column values into rows. So that is what we have to do. So what is the pivot access value? So when I say type, so you have to go back and you have to understand the emergency, home and work. So I have to convert all these row values into column. That is what my aim. So that's the reason why I'm going to give an emergency, I'm going to give a home, I'm going to give as a work. So just give a type as a value. So what is the value? So the value would be something like emergency. So I'm adding one more. So I have something called home. So I also have the something called as which one I have? I have work. This is an access value we have. So what is the prefix that you want to give it? If you want to give it any E as a prefix, if you want to give H as a prefix for the name and address, if you want to give W as a column prefix, you can always do that. If any duplicate values are there, so from the pivot access value, so just try to abort or just take the first row, like what is an output columns we have. So what is the default value for the pivot column? So all these like minimum things that you can play around and you can understand. See here, because I have defined the pivot access value, pivot columns or name and address, I got, so for each prefix I got two actually. So emergency name and emergency address. Emergency name and emergency address, something like that. If you also need to have a phone number, you can also include the phone number also here. Let us see the output and come back and change the values and change the settings in the reverse pivot, and we will try to understand what we need to do. So I'm trying to load it into the template table again. So something like this. So employee. Employee contact info. It seems to be there is an application error. It says the data flow is not found. It may have been deleted. Redefine the data flow. Let us see. Let me do the log off and log in. So let us see what will happen. So for now, okay, close it. I'm trying to log in one more time. So this is also the type of problem that will come across. So it depends upon the resources that are available on the system. I'm trying to log into one more time into the system. If we have the same problem, then we will have the server, not a problem. So I'm trying to open the same project here. So reverse pivot. Okay, it seems to be this got deleted completely. Okay, then we will try to have a data flow. Reverse pivot load. So there will be a dependency on this. Just go to the respective data store. Then we will go to the previous staging table. Where is that previous staging table? Source. Please have a query transformation in between. Please select all and simply drag and drop. Go back. Then use the reverse pivot transformation. So employee number is a non-pivot column. It is not going to be tweaked, or it is not going to be changed its location. That's the reason why it is non-pivoted column. And after that, so it depends upon the value of the type columns. So we have to change all the row values into respective columns. So that's the reason why. So I'm going to give an emergency. It's one value here. So I need to add one more value. That would be something like work.
Do we have to give in quotes, Venkat?
Yeah. So let us see. So one will proceed from there. So I mean to say, like, so when you say quotes, so whether it will take or not. So without giving in quotes, whether it won't take it or not, that we will see now. Okay. So normally, so we have to provide a quotes, and there are some instances where so if it is a value also, it don't require any quotes. But normally we will proceed with the quotes, and let us see. The work on home. See here, whenever I have provided the information in the quotes, so it is giving the problem. So if you remove the quotes and see, then what exactly happens? So that's the reason why normally I will do some mistakes wantedly, as I mentioned in the first or second section. So we'll proceed from there. See here. So this is how actually the things will happen. Did you get my point? So if you don't require, and if you require also phone, you can always simply put the phone here and you can simply drag and drop. That's it. Something like that. Okay. So that's the reason why. So you have to make sure that you also have a phone here. See, employee phone. So if it is not reflected, so you can open and close it. You will see a lot more. See here, emergency name, emergency address, emergency phone number, work name, work address, work phone number, home name, home address, and home phone number. So this is how actually the reverse pivot will be used. The reverse pivot and the pivot transformation, and most of the time will be used if your SAP is your data sources. When I say SAP is your data sources, so you can take up an SAP as a source, and where you have something like partner functions, as I mentioned in previous session. So where you have something called as all the values will be stored in this particular fashion in the SAP or SAP ECC system and SAP CRM. In all these instances, normally you are going to make use of these particular examples of it. It's very simple, very straightforward. So you don't have to you don't have to spend a lot of time on it. So, but like if we have any SAP projects in general, we will try to make use of this reverse pivot transformation. So without using reverse pivot transformation also, we can do the same activity with the SQL. So we can convert it. So we can convert it with the case statement within the SQL language. We can also do that. So that is also possible. So a lot of our projects we have used it without using reverse pivot transformation in my like in my initial stages, where we didn't realize we have a reverse pivot transformation and it will work out for us. So without knowing the reverse pivot transformation, what we did is we have developed a SQL code for that. For that, we have used a case statement in that. So the case statement, like in the SQL, so will be work similar to like your reverse pivot transformation. But if you use the reverse pivot transformation, it depends upon your access values. If you want to change all the row values into respective columns, it is like you have to hard code the values. If you have the 10 active values, yes, you need to have a 10 values have to be manually defined here, something like that. If you need for each and every active value, if you have one prefix, yes, we have to add the prefix value here. So all this is actually a disadvantage. So when compared to other transformations, what we have, and also if you compare with the pivot transformation, if you remember, we did pivot transformation for the two sets. One is called as a sales set, another one is called as a fees set. So these two sets are comes under the category called conversion of columns into rows in the pivot transformation. So there we have, at a time we can do two sets of information that can be converted into column values into row values. But whereas in the reverse pivot transformation, at a given point of time, it is only possible to perform only one set from the column values to row values. So that is the basic difference between the reverse pivot and the pivot. Normally in the interview there is a question that they will pose actually, what is the difference between the reverse pivot and the pivot. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, Venkat,
yes,
I have a question. What is the reason we are using SAP source system for this type of transformation?
Because, yes, good question actually. See, in an SAP system, normally data will be like this. So getting my point, what I mean to say, or else data will be saved in the reverse manner. I mean to say, so if you go to the let me take, yeah. So why I'm trying to tell you is like, so let us take an example that, so this is the data I have, okay? I'm just trying to give an example. So normally the SAP data will be saved in this particular fashion actually, okay? So I mean to say, that's the reason why. So let us take an example that we have something called as the partner functions we have. So each and every partner function is responsible for the respective activity. Let us take an example that we have something called as partner function. The partner function can be, it can be depends upon the company to company what they want to have. But particular partner function, they will be having the respect to sales representatives. The sales representative and the partner function can be specific to one country, one state, one district. So that is also possible there. So depends upon that, the data in the SAP will be there in the fashion in general, and that needs to be converted into the reportable format. So that is what actually meant by that. So depends upon your data. That's what I've taken an example of an SAP because you all guys have a like the SAP background. So that's the reason why. If it is a general SAP, I'm not saying that if it is an SAP, it is required to use a reverse pivot transformation, the must and should. No. It is not at all a mandatory to use a reverse pivot transformation if it is an SAP as a source. But there are some tables within an SAP where they are going to store the data in this particular fashion. Okay, maybe they are going to be store the data in this particular fashion. So if you want to convert the rows into columns and columns into rows, then you have to make use of this reverse pivot transformation, the pivot transformation. And remember that the reverse pivot and pivot transformation are entirely depends upon your reporting requirements. So you don't have to worry at all. Yes, please.
I mean, Venkat, in the front end also, in the BX or in the Bob query, we have the feature, the pivot option, right? So there we can design the report, whatever the might be.
Yeah, so you can do that. The feature is also there. So if you let us take an example that if you have a very strong team, so in a reporting, then yes, you can always go ahead with the same features can be applicable at the BobJ level also. So what happens if you don't, if all your licenses what you have taken, all the users what they have, so or like only consumers, you know that, right? So Bob, the users are divided into 4 or 5 parts: consumers, IT, power users, and what you have, decision makers, and all, like 4 or 5 different categories of people are there. So what happens if you don't have all these 4 categories and you have only one reporting tool, that may be ClickView. That may be, you need only Excelsior dashboard designing, where you don't have an option to tweak it. You don't have an option to convert it, all these things. So you have to simply show them what's going on, something like that. So what happens if you have such requirements? You cannot go ahead and you cannot convert it or you cannot tweak it in the BobJ level. So that's the reason why, in order to understand their requirements, in order to fulfill the customer's requirements, so we have to go to the reverse pivot or pivot transformation at the ETL level itself. So that is the basic usage of this pivot and reverse pivot. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, Venkat. One request from me as well. So going further, right? Shall we use like SAP? Because we have used enough like SQL Server and flat file. So
yes, going further, going further, whenever we are talking about an SAP as a source, yes, SAP and BODS extraction, we will use an SAP as a source. Okay, not a problem. Don't worry about
like
that.
all the examples what we are doing right now. from now on.
Right, Raju. Yeah, why I have taken example of a SQL server is it is very easy for us to understand. Don't go with only by you, so it's all entire team has to understand, right? That's the only reason actually I have taken that. That is one thing. And the second thing is, yes, if it is an SAP or non-SAP, the transformations won't be changed the way they are going to use it. It's not going to be changed. Of course, you know that, right? So that's the only reason I'm just taking. I don't have any other the points to not use an SAP. So we will be very comfortable actually. That's the only reason. Okay? Yeah, not a problem, not a problem. So even if you need more examples also, we will see. The personal we will connect and we will see that, not a problem. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Not a problem at all, always. Welcome. Yes, guys. So definitely guys, if you have any the personal queries and other than the sessions, if you want to understand, you can always the work with us. So you can always work with me personally, not a problem at all. Okay? So I'm always there to discuss anything. So yeah, so that is all about reverse PO transmission. So did you guys get it? The Chandra, like Dawn, Sumina, are you understanding what we are discussing here? It is very straightforward. Okay, thank you. So if you understand that, so let me go to the next type of transformation that is called as date generation transformation. Date generation transformation, it's like row generation transformation, and it's like the SQL transformation. It doesn't require any input. The transformation itself is so what you call as itself is a source. It is normally like whatever the date, that range that you want to generate. So let us take an example that this is what your start date. And if you want to have a end date, you can get it for the whole year, something like that, 2016. You can do that. So daily, all these range of dates that will be generated or released by this date generation transformation. So basically, it is used to generate the time dimension. So you know that, right? In general, in our data warehousing the scenario, we will be having one time dimension. In our star schemas or the snowflake schemas, what actually we are going to design, you will be having one time dimension to understand how actually your the dimension is behaving. So over a period of time. So that's the reason why normally this particular the transformation has introduced in an SAP BODS. So frankly speaking, I have used only 1 or 2 times because you already know that. So from the source system, whether it is an ACC or SAP CRM or whatever other sources, definitely you will be having some date field in the source system. So we can take that date field and we can make use of an existing functions what actually we have gone through yesterday. If you remember, whenever the Chandra asked whether the date comes into the quarter or date comes to the month or something like that. So anyway, the date is coming from the source. Then what you can do is you can always understand which quarter the date will fall into. So all these things that we will try to understand. So in that particular the functions part. So similarly here also, we are not going to do anything. It is going to generate a date, like what is the range that you have given. And after that, you are going to, so a new output column here, insert below. So if you want to understand where actually it will fall into the quarter, so if you want to understand all these things, you can write a function as usual. If you want to have your own custom function, yes, you can write it the custom function. So all these things that you can understand. So what else you want? If you want to have year also as a special, so you can always have it, something like that. So you can make use of a date function as much as possible. If you want to have the add months, it will give you a number of months in a date. If you give the two different, like of dates that you want to have, you can always do that. Concatenate date and time, two values and return the date and time value. So date difference, date part, so date in a month. So all the things that will be part actually here. So if you want to have quarter, yes, the quarter of what is the date field. This is the date field. Finish. So if it is a month, you can always select month, date generation, date, finish. If I have year, functions, date, what you need to have, year, right? So year part. So we have year, something like that. If you also need to have week, so you can take the respective one. Load into the target system. So it is not big deal. So you can always go ahead and do that. So in my experience, I didn't work very effectively on the date generation because I didn't get a requirement. So normally the requirement won't come because we have a time dimension, like time field is already there in the source. So that's the reason. That's the only reason. But we have used functions. What are the functions we have in the date functions, the group? We have used almost all. So date generation. Something like this, as usual, as you expected. So what is the value, what is the quarter it will fall into, what is a month, what is an year, and etc. etc. So this is how actually we have to proceed with the generation transformation. Okay, so it is very straightforward. There is nothing logic included here. So that's it. So any questions actually on this? It's very straightforward, right? So I think so normally questions won't be there on this, but still, yeah. Do you have any questions on this? Okay, that's fine. Now we will take up the data services scripting language. So please go through this slide. So whatever I have given, so in this particular I have shared the PPT. Whoever didn't get it, so I will send it to you. Not a problem in the email. So the scripting language within the BODS is very useful. So in order to control your BODS job, in order to call the functions, in order to talk to the database directly, in order to execute DDL, DML, DCL statements, if you want to execute, so you can directly execute from the BODS via the scripting language only, the basic block of a basic place actually where you're going to write a scripting language is a script object in general. But the scripting language can be written anywhere. The scripting language can be written inside the data flow. The scripting language can be written inside the workflow even. But the basic, very basic and very effective way of writing a scripting language would be in the script object. So that is very important. So the script object, the scripting language will be used in order to write a script or in order to create the custom functions actually to address complex logical expressions. Normally we will make use of a scripting language. So it is very important to understand the scripting language because the scripting language, which is very common expressions where we have written. If you remember, we have written like SQL transformation, a SQL function. We have used something like print function. We have used something like wherever we have a forward slash within a single quotes value within a select statement. We have given one more the forward slash before the value and after the value. So all these are all very minor things that we have to remember from the scripting language standpoint. Whatever we have used and examples, all are our real-time examples. What actually we are going to use it in the common the scripting language. Okay, so whatever I have shown you, those are all I have used in my project. So whatever as the script SQL function, I've used a lot of the functions we have called it. So whatever maybe the thing, if you want to call the like any batch script or Windows script, you can call it from the script object using the scripting language. You can have anything. Yeah, the scripting language is a combination of contacts, the constants. It's a combination of an operators, combination of functions and variables, and etc. And similarly, the script can run the functions, assign values to the variables, and it can be passed to another variables, and etc. That we can do that. Scripting language basically, like it is going to assign some values. Most of the time, the last one we are going to make use of it. With the help of a scripting language, we are going to assign some values to the variables, and those variables will be passed on to the in a different flow. That can be in workflow and that can be in the data flow. So if you remember in the scripting language, if you remember while discussing regarding the the row generation transformation, we have used some global variables on how actually the global variables are getting passed. They are passed from either from our input, or else if you remember our the while loop or while if conditional clause, we have used some conditions where we are going to select the max row ID and assigning the value to the row ID column and etc. So all these things will be part of your script. Okay, that is the last point I have mentioned in this particular slide. It is a very commonly used usage of the script within the script object. So normally this is what actually happens here. If within the statements, if within the string, so if you have any particular thing, so let us take an example that in this, so we have something called as world's books. So world's books, within the world's books, we are having one more single code, right? So that's the reason why I have given a forward slash, something like that. Similarly, the backslash, when we are going to use a backslash, so if you have let us take an example that two forward slashes you have. So we have to make use of a one more forward slash, something like that. So wherever you have a requirement, and also select statements in the script object or custom function must be end with the semicolon. If you remember whatever we have written, for each and end of the statement, I have ended with a semicolon. So that is what exactly happens. And in the scripting language, if you remember, in order to comment, I have used the phi symbol. Getting my point? So similarly, single quotes in the string constant. Within the string constant values, if you have anything, something like this, you have to pass the forward slash or something like this. So these are all standard examples that I have given. And similarly, the variable name must be start with the dollar symbol, something like that. Similarly, the variables and parameters, so whatever we have defined in the local variables, so in variables and parameters section, the tool palette, that will make use of variables and parameters. So similarly, square brackets. So if you understand that, so we have given one the statement where if you want to substitute any particular value, then we can use the square brackets. Then we can use the curly braces. So the usage of this would be, the expression would be coded with the single quotation marks. So what is my request would be is to, so please make sure that all these are followed actually, okay. So normally the script is a single use object. So once you have used the script object is specific to only that particular workflow, only to that particular the job or whatever it is, okay. So so the same the script can't be changed like our data flow. So if you remember, whenever we have used one data flow in 2-3 jobs, and once the data flow got changed in one job, automatically the same data flow will be changed in the another job. That is what actually happens in the data flow standpoint. But whereas in the script, if you have changed the same script and if you have copied the script object in different job also, even if I change any of the content of the script, it won't be affected on the another script that you have copied earlier in the different job. So that is what actually the single use means. So similarly, the script object facilitates the BODS to send an email notification to the business users in case of a failures or success. Similarly, so we can also call the VB script. You can also call it the Windows script to send reports to end users. I have come across recently, like some clients where the clients are not using any reporting tools actually, frankly speaking. Whatever they want to do, they want to manipulate everything in the BODS, and finally they want to receive a mail to their Outlook as a PDF file. So if you want to attach those, all you can write it in a Windows script, and those Windows script can be called from the BODS scripting language. It's just script object. Okay, so these are all some basic examples of a script, how to use it and where to use it, and etc. etc. So these are all very the standard methods, standard usages actually. So how actually you are going to make use of. That's it. So apart from that, you are not going to use very much on it, but this is the way place actually. So most of your times you are going to use the SQL function. It is very important. And most of your time, so you are going to print. That is one thing. And most of your time you are going to use this particular global variable where some values will be assigned to that particular global variable. And you are also going to select the max load date, because if you want to delete something, if you want to perform any delta operation, if you want to make sure that every day only last 7 days of data is going into the target system, if you want to understand all these things, you are going to use only the whatever like the examples that I mentioned here, all these examples that you can make it with an exact and as it is. That's it. So you will understand so how actually you will proceeding with. Okay. So that's the reason why. So I have just mentioned the examples what we have in the script object. I have put it in this particular scripting language. The slide. So please go through that. If you have any questions, yes, we can always discuss. Not a problem. So this is all about a scripting object what we have, the scripting language. and scripting language will be used in scripting object. So do you have any questions, guys? So I have given the scripting object requirements and all. So I request you to please practice and just come back to your questions. We'll proceed from there. So do you have any questions, guys? If you don't have any questions, please say no in the chat so that I will understand.
Venkat, I have a question, but I'll ask you at the end of the session.
Sure. Yeah, not a problem. Related to script, you can ask me, not a problem.
Yeah, it's about like running the jobs, but not exactly related to the scripts, I guess.
Yeah, carry on, please. What is your question?
Yeah, basically like right now we are running at the job level, right? You're like clicking it, but in real time it won't be happening. You'll be running it through some third-party tools or from the command prompt, or you'll be doing those stuff. Like, how can we do that?
Right. Okay. Great. Great. Okay. So we will do one thing. Okay. Yeah, not about. We will take up now itself. That's a good question. So we will take it up right now. It is very important to know all the people because I have scheduled all these things for the last session of our course, but that's fine, not a problem. So we'll discuss a bit early. So if you want to schedule any particular job and if you want to maintain any particular dependency on this particular job, so all these things that you can mention within the DS management console. So DS management console is very, very important. So how it is important that I will tell you. So DS management console. So the DS management console is a web interface. And what we are going to do actually. So and it will run on Tomcat by default. And this particular so DS console is very much important to monitor the jobs and execute the jobs and whatever the things, like if you want to check to verify health of the BODS jobs, so you will go to this particular DS management console. And also very important thing, if you want to establish an ECC, SAP ECC and SAP BODS or SAP BW and SAP BODS connectivity, integration, also done in this. Okay, so if you want to trying to communicate with the data flow between SAP ECC and BODS and SAP BW and the BODS, so the BODS connectivity related integration stuff will be done here. The steps and all we will see in the respective sections. So and also, so we are going to understand So how actually the job has taken? What is the operational dashboard? We will also see the dashboard kind of thing. So the information regarding the DS console is, it is most often like to get a data quality reports. So when I say data quality reports, I'm not saying that we are going to come to data profiling. When I say data quality reports, you will get like statistics actually. So when I say statistics, so you will say that, so how many jobs failure in last days or success. Okay. So and also we will see that, so what we have, if you want to perform any auto documentation, auto documentation of the project. So that is also possible. Okay. So 1 minute, guys. Just give me 1 minute, please. Yeah, thanks for being on hold. When I say auto documentation of the project, you can understand. So what is the job about? What is the job about? So what is the workflow in that? What is the data flow in that? So all the information that you will be able to understand here. So I think we are able to log in now. Right. So these are the 6 different tabs we have actually, frankly speaking. So most of our time, so we will be working on the administration tab actually. Okay, so we have something called as an operational dashboard also will work most of the time, and we have an auto documentation. And similarly, we have these two are not that effectively used, but yes, we will be using it. So when I click on an administrator task, so basically it will have information of, so how many repositories that are configured for that respective repositories. Let us take an example that in your project you have maybe 6 or 7 developers. Let us take an example. If you have 6 or 7 developers in your project, so maybe like each developer may be having maybe 100 reports, maybe he has executed. Let us take an example. Like that, if you have a 7 developers, 700 jobs you have. So all the 700 jobs history can be understood from here. Like most of the, so what you have tested, so if you have tested, where is the proof. So all the information that you will be understanding in the data services management console. So it will take some time to come up. So it is very important to know, but so more than you guys, BODS administrators will spend most of their time actually. Okay, on this particular DS management console. So it is taking some time to come up. Because we have a lot of local repositories that are configured with the same. So that's the reason it will take some time. Okay, so by the time it will come up, we will also see what are the other points we have. We have something called as impact and lineage analysis. So when I say impact and lineage, the name itself says that. So maybe I have 100 objects, 100 jobs I have created. Maybe one data flow is part of maybe several jobs. Let's take an example. If I am trying to change that particular data flow, what is an impact on how many jobs are getting impacted? So all the information that you will be able to see in this particular the DS management console. And remember that the DS management console activity doesn't come under the development, okay? But it will be, the developer will have an access only to the developer management console, and so that he can execute and he can see. That's it. Other than that, normally the developer won't be able to work on this particular DS management console. That is one thing. And the second thing is, so what we have is, yes, even the guy who is going to support your BODS system, like production support. So all these guys, like production support guys, where they have developed the the job, and they have moved everything to the production, and the project is in the maintenance, the project is in the maintenance state. Then in that the scenarios, normally you are going to make use of a data services management console actually to perform an activity of job monitoring. If anything got wrong, reschedule it. So all those things will be possible actually with this particular console. See here, these are all the repositories we have. That's the reason why it will take a lot of time. These are all the local repositories got created. See here, these are all the local repositories are opened by a lot of people actually. These many local repositories we have. Our local repository is something like, where is that? Our local repository, let us see. Here, this is what our BODS. Here it says that the BODS is the most common repository where all the people are using it. So if most of the jobs they have executed are failure, then overall status will be failure. Okay, you don't have to worry on the status is considered. Okay, you can just click on BODS. By the time it will come up, just I will be on mute. See here, so now we got, these are all the jobs that we have scheduled, maybe at different times. On January 30th, so we have these jobs. On 28th, these jobs we have scheduled, we have ran. I mean, yesterday we didn't use the server. That's the reason why you don't see any instances on Jan 29th, IST I'm referring to. So this is how, so we have something called as batch job configuration, a repository schedule for that. So if I click on the batch job configuration, you will see that. So what are the options we have, where to schedule it. So which job you want to schedule it? So our the basic job is something like which one our job, our project. First we'll go to the project, right? In the project you can have, where is our project? Our project is, see here, this is our project. If we select the project, so the respective jobs will be shown here. And if you want to have, you can execute it, you can add a schedule, and we have an option called export execution command. So export execution command will be used to have a dependency on the jobs. So when we have a requirement like where it says that if one job is completed, then only the next job has to schedule or next job has to run. For such instances, we will use normally an export execution command. See here, if you want to execute, yes, you can always go ahead and execute the same job. Just now we have the scheduled date underscore, we have executed date underscore generation job, right? The same job I'm executing from here. You can execute.
Can you export that execution command? What does it do? Can you repeat that?
Yes, the export execution command is a way to maintain the dependency between the jobs. I mean to say, like, so let us take an example that we have a job 1 and we have a job 2. Okay, if job 1 completes, then only the job 2 has to execute. Let us take an example. Okay, in that case, what we will do is we will make use of an export execution command. Okay, when I say export execution command, it will create a .dat file, .bat file. Okay, getting my point? That .bat file information that we will give in the second job where it has to trigger. Okay, so see here, where is our the port number? So we don't have a port. Yes, this is 3589. You can select the respective port number. So these are all the statistics actually. So what you are able to see here while executing the job, see here, you are able to see install, disable data validation collection, recovery. So all the things that you have, right? All the information is there here also. See here. And what are all the messages at what level you want to have? You want to talking about a traces like an RFC functions, like stored procedure level you want to have traces, scripts and script object level, ABAP query you want to have. So the SQL transformations you want to have, IDOC file readers, like so what actually happened. So all the information that you will be able to get it in the traces. Normally we will you know, like enable it data flow on the session and the workflow, because so if you go to the detail level, it will take a lot of your time and it will consume the memory also. So that's the reason why normally we will keep these values like data flow, session and the workflow. Execute. For that export execution command, I have a document for that. Okay, it will explain you detail way of how actually we are going to make use of it with an example. I will upload and I will send that document for you guys. Okay.
Sure, Venkat. Also, like you said, you'll be uploading a couple of other documents. Remember?
Sure. Not a problem, Raju. I will do it. Like, but my only thing is just remind me. Not a problem. Okay, I will upload. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we have something called a trace, monitor, and error log. So we will normally go to that the monitor log. We will try to execute and see. Okay, so the same information but in different way actually. So we are going to get it. So when we say export execution option, let me click on this badge. It will take some time to come up because it is right. If you take date generation, where is that? Our project. Yeah, this is a date generation. If I click on the export execution command, see here. So it is going to have export execution command. So the respective ID, you will just click on export. So all the code related to this particular the BODS that will be saved in the .bat file. Okay. So that execution and all. So where is the location? Where it gets saved? So all the information that I will send it to you in the document. Okay. So whenever I click on this export, what actually is going to do is it is going to have all the trigger related to this particular code execution will be there in the .bat file. Okay. Getting my point? The export was successful. So where actually the location, where actually the file will be there. So how to call that file, how to call that .bat file in another job. So we will have a detailed, the step by step I have mentioned there. Okay, that's more of like an administration related the BODS stuff. Okay, so that's the reason why I like normally we used to send documents for that, so that you will see the documents and you will learn one by one. Okay. And so what else we have? Yeah, so here if you see here we have a lot of things actually in the management. We will come back to this again whenever we will be discussing an SAP connection. See here, ECC and all those stuff. And also if you want to communicate with any cloud CRM systems like salesforce.com, so you have to configure some adapters. This is an adapter. If you want to have any real-time job also, you need to have some adapter has to be defined here. The server groups, we can define the profile repositories if you want to maintain it. If you want to have a different groups in the profile repositories, you can have it. And similarly, if you want to maintain a secure, as I mentioned in that particular session where we have discussed the local repository and central repository, where if you want to give a different rights to a different group of people, then you can always go for this particular central repository section and the profile repository section here. And similarly, so we have something called as data stores. How many data stores we have? So if you want to maintain the data stores, also different data stores, you can always go back here. So it's all depends upon the management actually from the administration standpoint. Similarly, see here the CMS connection. The CMS connection also that you can see here, and you can maintain the CMS connection. So all these things are, important from the BODS administration standpoint. So if time permits, we will see that. So how to do that and all and everything. So we have the something called, these are all the local repositories what we have created on this particular the BODS server. Okay, this is all about administration tab, what we have in the BODS management console. So we have a lot more actually. We have almost like 6 tabs we have where they have their own responsibilities for each and every tab.
So Venkat,
Yes.
one question. So this is the other way of like running the job. So right now we have seen like 2 ways. One is like directly on the designer. The next one is like coming to administrator and running the job. Do we? Are there any other methods?
Yeah, these are the most way of using the what do you call it, the job execution. When I say other methods, yeah, so we have something called as you can make use of some third-party schedulers. Third-party schedules, and we have like BODS designer, we can make use of it, and also we have something called as the DS console. Okay, these are the very 3 the basic ways of doing the schedule. This can be anything, like this can be a Redwood scheduler, another tool actually for the third-party schedulers. A Redwood scheduler. So we have something called as FRAD tool. Okay. These are the third-party schedulers actually. So which in turn actually call the BODS and they are going to execute. These 2 are not only specific to BODS, so these 2 are specific to any particular tool. That can be for the Informatica, that can be for the data stage, wherever you have. These are the 3 main types of schedules what we have.
Sure. So is there any way from the command prompt?
Yes, command prompt also you can do that. That is anyway the standard way for each and every tool. That can be in Informatica, that can be the what you call a data stage. Yes, we have an options. We have an options to do that. Not a problem. But normally we don't use that because all are going what do you call as GUI based, right? So normally, so that's the reason why we don't normally use it. But there are like I see like 1 or 2 companies, they are not using for the schedule, but they are using command prompts for different purposes actually, for doing a migration and all stuff. Okay.
Sure. So for that, like, can we get any documentation, like what commands to use and like that? Because like these command prompt while we are running, right, we can also write some scripts for that, like cron jobs or like that, right?
That I have to see. Okay.
Okay.
So that's good command you have raised. Yeah. So that I have to check. Okay. Currently I don't have it, but I will check and get back to you guys. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So we have something called as an operational dashboard. We have. So operational dashboard means it will display. So how many jobs you have in failure, how many jobs you have success. So all the information that you will be able to see in the operational dashboard. This operational dashboard is normally useful to get a dashboard, the kind of information. To view the dashboard of data services job execution statistics actually to get a gist of like what is the status of it, what is the performance of the job execution, so over a period of time. So all the information that you will be able to understand in the operational dashboard. That is one thing. And from auto documentation standpoint, it will give you, so you can go through, if you don't have an access to designer, you can always go back to the auto documentation, and so we will try to understand so what actually you have, and what actually the job, what is the data flow, or what is the workflow you have, so what actually you are trying to understand. So all the different information that you will be able to understand in this particular auto documentation section. So similarly, you will see that so what is the data validation, so what we have, and what is the data quality, but these two are not that effectively used because for the data validation, for the for this data quality reports, normally you have something called an information steward for that. For data validation, you are going to make use of information steward completely. But how many jobs are job summaries, data quality, transform related reports, everything that we will be getting from the data quality report section here actually. Okay, this is also not that effectively used in the industry. If time permits, we will see at the end. Okay, that's the reason I have scheduled the topic called DS Management Council at the end of our course, BODS course. Okay, not a problem. So I have just finished, like whatever I want to discuss. If time permits, you will see the in detail. Otherwise, you can always just click on it. So if you have an access, you can just click on it and you can see that. So what do you have, what you are able to see that, what you have, and all, etc. Okay. So in tomorrow's session, so we will be discussing. So what we will be discussing actually. So either we will start an SAP or else we will start an SAP HANA connected to BODS, or I will start with data quality. So where we have something called as address cleanse and zero coder. So how to do that and all and everything. But before starting the data quality, I want to set your expectations on this particular data quality. The data quality is, as I mentioned previously, so we are going to download some what you call as the packages, telephone directories, city directories, and the phone directories. Everything we are going to download from an SAP, and that will be every quarter or 6 months, depends upon the agreement you have from SAP. And because they're all demo systems, normally we won't be able to get all these different directories, different rules and all and everything. But what I did is, I have taken data, I mean to say uncleansed data, and that uncleansed data, I have cleansed it, and so I have made it in a format of an output file, and I will display you in tomorrow's session. I mean to say what is the source and what is the target after cleansing. That is one thing. And during this process, what actual process needs to be followed in order to cleanse that uncleansed data to cleanse field. Okay, the only thing is job won't be successful because we don't have a proper the packages. That is the limitation we have. Okay, I want to set your expectations before. The job won't be successful, but you will see the entire process, what actually you have to do. Only thing is job will be failure because we don't have a proper packages of those the US related address cleanse and data cleanse and all and everything. Okay, I will walk through all the processes. We will do as if we are developing a real address cleanse or data cleanse job, and we will see the output, what is the cleansed output, what is the raw data, and what is the cleansed output. We will compare both two, and we will see that the output report from the after doing an cleansed data. And once that is done, we will also see some reports, on which reports actually you are going to say maybe the postal code is wrong, maybe address is wrong, maybe the BODS has changed this changed or corrected the zip code, something like that. So all these different information, what is the manual to check it for the data quality. So all these things that we will see in tomorrow's session, if I have start the data quality. Okay. So that is what I have a plan for tomorrow, data quality management. If time permits, we will start new one. Otherwise, the tomorrow, the entire day that we will be focusing on this particular, what do you call as so data quality management, especially on the address cleanse. If you understand the address cleanse, data cleanse is very simple. If you understand the geocoding, all other transformations related to the data quality is very simple. So I will walk you through that. So because there are demo systems, it won't be possible to download from SAP because they are all licensed actually. So you have to download from SAP. Here, it will take a lot of time. That's the reason why I don't want to, take it in between the sessions. I have planned it for the last session because it has to bring, see here, all the repositories information. It will eat away a lot of your resources, it will take a lot of your time, and even the performance also is very bad. So that's the reason I would take up, if time permits, in the last session of the BODS. Okay. The major topics that I have left is data quality, and so after that an SAP HANA and BODS. After that we will see SAP SAP BW and SAP ECC BODS integration, and these are the three major steps. So if we have three major topics are completed, then you can assume that almost 95% of your syllabus is completed for the SAP BODS is considered. So if we left any small topics, yes, we can discuss, not a problem. That is all about what we are going to discuss tomorrow. So do you have any questions, guys? If you don't have any questions, so we can hang up the call.
Hi, Venkat. This is Chandra.
Yes, Chandra.
Can you do? See, yesterday you were showing through the agenda, right? The syllabus of the entire class.
Right.
Can you do me a favor in that Word document, if you don't mind? Can you also on the side, on the right-hand side, put which class we took? Because some of the classes I did not attend. So if anybody wants to go through those sections, they can easily refer to that particular class in the videos rather than going through each and every video.
Yeah, actually I have a plan, Chandra. Yeah, so I already discussed with the Genentech guys, the plan is whatever the recorded session we have, like BODS section 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Instead of that, we are planning to rename the section names. Session names. Getting my point? What I want to say?
Yes. At least with the title of or some kind of a
definitely.
Some two or three sentences.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Definitely. And also we also have a plan. Maybe if time permits, in an Excel sheet, we are going to say that which section refers and what is the description of the section or the session. So in that Excel sheet also we are going to send it to Genentech. But just give me a few more days because we are going to complete everything, right? So I will have some time to sit and do all these things. Okay.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah. So I will just mark it in green. So major topic. This is maybe it won't take much time, maybe 1 hour time. So these are the two important actually. Okay. So that we will see. So major focus. That's it. Tomorrow we will complete this. It will take another maybe 1.5 hours. It will take up, and it will take up 1 hour, 2.5 hours. It won't take up like 2-3 hours. It will be 1.5 hour to 1.5 hour. That will complete the BODS. So today, like 14th session, 28 hours. I think we have completed till now. So I'm planning like another 4 or 5 hours so to complete the BODS. Okay. So we'll proceed from there. And so if you have any questions, guys, so please you can put it in the blog itself. Not a problem. Even after the course is completed also. So that I will be watching the blog and I will be continuously in touch with you guys.
Venkat, is Donald.
Yes,
did you see my blog note from last night?
Sorry, Don. Can you repeat once again, please?
I said, did you see my blog note from last night on the discussion? I mentioned that the numbering of the sessions got off there. There's no session 11.
Right.
It went from 10 to 12. Yeah, so your session numbers don't match.
No. I understand that. If the 11 is there, 11 is not there. I understand that. If you remember, so 11 is not there. That is fine. After that, 11 they have made it like 12. After that, they have made it like 13. After 13, again they made it like 13. Getting my point? What I mean to say?
Is that what happened? Because like they're not.
Right. That is what happened. Yes. Like I can show you. Not a problem. So because the number of sections you have to see, number of the sessions you have to see, recorded sessions, that will give you a real picture. Not a problem, guys. Even if it is 1 or 2 sessions or 1 or 2 hours also, I'm ready to take up more. Not a problem at all. Okay, don't worry. I'm just giving you an approximate expectation to you guys. Okay. But yes, I'm calculating a number of hours so that I should also have some idea, right? So how many hours I have completed, how many hours I have left, and all and everything. If you feel that, like I have to take more hours, not a problem at all. So I will be there for you guys until you satisfy. Not a problem. Don't worry about that. Just leave me about the number of hours. Yeah, that's what my request.
I'm sorry, I wasn't talking about the number of hours. I was just talking about if you look at our class schedule, like in the meeting grid, those session numbers versus how they're labeled out in the recordings tab there. That like I said, they got out of sync. Anyways.
Okay. One second. Let me log in. 1 second. Just give me 1 second, so that I will understand what you're referring to.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention, whether Sunday night, Chandra, whether we'll be participating that evening.
Yeah, Venkat, here on Sunday night there is a Super Bowl, so most of us may not be available. Is that right, Don?
What is that?
Super Bowl, like a cricket match, like a World Cup cricket match. So there is like a football game.
Right. Okay.
It's that evening. I thought,
So Don will be stuck to the TV.
Oh. Okay. What about other guys?
And Meena will be the only one who will be attending the class, I think. Or maybe not. I don't know. Meena can speak for herself.
Hey, I want to hear Meena's voice. Like till now, Chandra, I want to hear Meena's voice. Till now, I didn't heard anything from him or from her actually.
Yeah, Meena is shy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just kidding. So I thought like maybe she has some microphone issues and all that. That's why she's on chat.
You are absolutely right. She's logging through the laptop, so she doesn't have the hard phone.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So Meena is saying that this year she'll be watching Super Bowl. There you go, buddy. All of your guys are going to be watching Super Bowl.
maybe the halftime entertainment show.
Hey, you know what, Venkat? You also need to watch. You also need to watch Super Bowl. Especially the commercials will be really good.
Right. Yeah, so you are able to see my screen. So here we have something called as video recording. So we have, right? So if you see, if you calculate the number of videos we have gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so today is 14th session. Okay. So we can rename it, not a problem. So whatever the session, you're right, Dawn. So after 10th, I remember that there is no 11. She has sent a link for the 12th. I remember that. So maybe she has renamed it actually to session number 11. Okay, not a problem. So similarly, I want to make it like rename of this. Okay. So video recordings 1, 2, 3, something like that. I want to rename with proper names. I will send the names to her. I don't have any rights to do that. I will send my, so what are the names we need to do it, and I'll send to her and she will rename it. Okay?
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, I think she has renamed it now, but I know the other night I went and after our session finished.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, even I have observed the same dog. Yeah.
Yeah, it had the same number, but it was the prior day's I go, uh-oh, something's out of
Right.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, prior I'm able to see that. We have 10 after 12. There is no 11. Yeah, I see that. Not a problem. Okay. So we will spend as much time as possible till you guys understand. Not a problem. Don't worry. So, but only request from my end is just let me know time to time whether you are getting or not. So whether you are, if you feel that any topics, if you are collectively as a team, if you didn't understand, if you want to have a recap, just let me know so that we can recap once again. Not a problem. Okay. So these are the sessions that I am planning actually. So we have one. This is the completed actually the today's session 14th. So we have 15th and 16th and 17th session. So she has sent till Sunday, I think. All right. So for me it is Monday morning. Okay. By Monday morning. So when you are not attending the session, Chandra?
That's on Sunday, I guess.
Yeah, session
Yeah, guys,
7.
maybe I'm wasting your time. So if you don't have any questions, you can log off. So Raju and two Rajus actually. So when I how have to pronounce you guys, like Raju N or Raju? so so
You can call me Raju Nelakunda.
that will be very long, Raju.
You can call me then Raju N.
Raju N, right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, thanks, Mina.
yeah, Venkat, Venkat, like going further, right? Like, I'll be
One
more
second.
interested. Yeah, sure.
1 second. Huh? Goodbye, Don. Yeah. Raju is there? Not Raju N. Not Raju N. Raju is there? Hello? Hello? You there, Raju? Hello? Hello? Okay, I think he is not there. Yes, Raju N. Yeah, you were saying something. Yes, please.
Yeah, going further, right? Like I'll be more interested in like on the connection with the SAP side. So
Okay.
one reason.
So I want to set your expectations, Raju.
Yeah.
Like before proceeding further.
Yeah.
The expectations would be something like that. Just remove from your mind that SAP and non-SAP are different. I mean to say from the BODS standpoint.
Yeah.
Okay, one thing. I would like to give you a heads up. So second thing is, even if it is an SAP or non-SAP, for BODS consultant, everything is same.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true, right? So second thing. Third thing is, you have to focus only on the connection. What actually happens in the behind the screen? When I say I'm extracting the data, what actually happens? That is what, as a SAP consultant, like how many years of experience do you have?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, me, I have like almost like 9+.
9+ years of experience. Okay. So me, I have like 12 years of IT experience. Okay. So like why I'm trying to tell you is, being like 10 years guys, you have to focus on, of course, you already know that, but like what actually happens at the behind the scenes that you have to be very focused on, right? The rest of the things that you can get everywhere, the net or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So
one thing,
so my
the main difference.
Please.
Yeah, the main difference will be like the connection. You said that is true. So I want to more concentrate on that, like the connection, like the what we are giving and the data behind. Like in the SAP, the data is stored in a different format, like totally denormalized. That's the reason today you said like like when it is SAP, we'll have to use this pivot stuff, because the data is stored in like a denormalized way. Whereas like in RDBMS right now,
No. See, when you say denormalized, the statement is wrong.
Okay.
Denormalized is more redundant. Okay, whatever the operational system that you are talking about, those are not denormalized. Denormalized definition is entirely different. Okay?
Okay.
So the data in the operational system will be in the normalized format. Getting my point?
Okay.
So the definition of the data warehousing system is entirely different. Denormalized means
in the SAP
system,
I'm saying.
Yes. Okay. No, even in the SAP system also, SAP system is a OLTP system, right? Whenever it is an OLTP system, we cannot say that it is a denormalized. We have to say that it is normalized, the way they have stored the data. But when you say when I said to use a reverse pivot or pivot transformation, so because the data will be stored in that format, if you want to convert it into our reporting requirements, so you have to use a reverse pivot. That is the only thing. Other than that, I'm not saying that it is a denormalized. The data in the SAP, it is not possible to analysis. No, that is not the case. Okay.
So like these kind of scenarios, right? When we connect to SAP system, we'll be facing like these kind of scenarios. That's where like I'm more interested in looking at. So how you are connecting to SAP BW and how you're connecting to HANA. Let's say for example, like a couple of examples like in past classes you have taken, right? Like all the nice examples. So those examples, like if you would have, because the most of the projects we are seeing, it is like SAP BODS like connecting through SAP BW. So that will, I thought like like that will be helping me to learn more hands-on experience on this. Like
definitely. I completely understand your point of view.
I can refer back to your videos like later time. That's what like how you have connected.
Yeah, definitely. And definitely. I really understand what is your point. But the only thing, so I would like to give you is, like we are in a team, right? So, and that too, like the part that you are referring is, So we are what do you call it, ahead. The other guys won't be able to follow. I see that you are very fast and you are grasping the thing very, even though you have joined 6 or 7 later on, you are very fast when compared to other guys, and you're asking very good questions when compared to the tools and all everything. But the only thing is, the guys who are in the Chandra and what are other guys they have, they're almost 5 or 6, 7 guys. So they are, you can say that they are startups in this particular the BODS. So, and even they don't have any proper the SAP background completely. So for those people, my idea would be to give the complete information. But for you, if you need any extra information, yes, you can always you can talk to me after the session. We can discuss, not a problem. But in the session, what happens? Unnecessarily you have to sit. Let us take an example of today. You have discussed about the DS management console.
Right.
I cannot say that we will use a DS management console. I cannot leave it, something like that, because you have asked my question. I have to fulfill the complete answer, right?
Right.
Again, I have to, go back to the DS console. I have to, discuss on 40, 35 minutes on that.
Yeah, that's the reason I said I want to ask in the end of the.
Right, but if anybody asks something, I cannot say I cannot, delay their question.
That's true. We shouldn't do that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's the only reason. Other than that, I don't have any problem. I can whatever I know, I'm very much happy to share with you guys. Not a problem. Okay. So, yeah, that's the only thing. So the only thing is, yes, whatever we are following, yes, just let it go. If you need any further information, if we are any connectivity issues are going on, if any problems are there, so between SAP and ECC or between SAP and BODS, we will discuss on later stage. Maybe personally we can discuss after the session in the same. Okay, getting my point?
Yeah.
That is what my recommendation. Other than I have to shift my focus to other part where I didn't prepare for the session. When I say prepared, maybe there might not be a proper connection. There might not be proper data, something like that. Getting my point?
Sure.
The explanation won't be good and all that. That's the only reason. Other than that, I don't have any intention to overlook your question. Okay?
Yeah,
You got my point?
exactly. Yeah, I got that. Another, so in while I'm practicing it, so how can I contact you? If I want to have some help on connection part, like BW or like that.
That what you can do is you can put it everything in the training blog.
Training blog. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, put it in the training blog. So if any, put it in the training blog where you have a connectivity issues. Okay. So that will be very easy for you. Okay, to put it.
Okay.
Okay. So okay, we will proceed from there.
Sure.
Okay. So thank you.